supposedly was said that you're not against the building, then why haven't you, Mr. Ayers, worked with Mr. Subic on doing it the right way? If you know what has to be done. And no, we haven't lost any lawsuits. We won that one lawsuit. It just never got put in the paper because we can't seem to get the right information or get the information that we want in the paper. So I'm sorry if it seems like things weren't done the right way, but we've been trying. And that's all I have to say.
I've got one thing. I thought we talked about that last month. We should get a resolution to get Judge Dygert out here. At least till we get something done up there.
Mm-hmm. We can do that. Sure.
Yeah.
Build a bench, build a
Yeah.
platform.
But he
for a
said, didn't he
bench.
say last month when he was here that would be fine for now?
He did
Forgot
indicate
why.
he would be willing to work with that, yes, he did.
He did. I talked to him about it when I first came in, and he said
We,
he
we
would.
can have that ready for the
Yes.
November
We
meeting.
should have
Yeah,
brought that up
that'd be
months
great.
ago then. Okay. The only concern he said he did have was about the computer hookup out here. We'd have to do something with the electric.
Don't matter.
No problem. Great. That sounds good. So should I add that to the resolution? Great. Any other council comments?
Well, I guess I'll sum it up a little bit, you know. In 1966, when I first came to this area, it seems like I attended, probably started some of these meetings in 1970. And it reminds me of 1970, and here we are again. That broken swing down at Wintergreen Park since 1974 is still broken. We're not moving forward, we need to move forward. 10 years to try to build a building is absolutely absurd. And shame on anybody in this room who thinks that this entire board is doing anything deliberately or with any intent to do it wrong. We're trying to get it right. We're trying to do the right thing. And another thing is there's multiple interpretations of the law. No matter which way we seem to do it, there's another interpretation. We are trying to go forward and make this community a strong and vibrant community to go forward. There has been no forward motion in this town that I can recall of since 1966. And here we are again, 10 years into this building. 10 years. So if anybody says that we haven't taken consideration and looked and listened to people, they're wrong. We have. And Jim, it's not about you. It's about everything that's going on. It's about the problems that we were having getting the people together. We understood that. We were trying to circumvent that situation and take it off your shoulders. But you take it the wrong way. We're trying to work with what we have. The comprehensive plan. That should have probably been done before you moved that 540 acres up near my house, which had corn and hay on it, into 40 different subdivisions. Corn and hay was on that 540 acres. Now, don't you think that didn't make a big difference in this community? But why would you want to do a comprehensive plan now for a little building on a piece of land that's owned by the town? The money's owned by the town. The building's going to be owned by the town. I agree we need one, but not at this particular time. And I think as far as Judge Dygert goes, we should have brought him out. He should have been out here already. I mean, we're still talking about it. We just need to move his desk out here and put him out here. Paul, I've known you for years. I admire you. I know, truthfully, that you feel that this building should not be built. And I understand why. And I admire your aspirations and your drive. You too, Earl. Because you truly stand behind what you believe in. But as far as the other ones go, they're just running on your coattails. Now, there is nobody up on this board that I know of that has any ill intent about anybody in this room or about anything that's going on, other than they want to get this project going forward. If we have to start doing something different to bring revenue into this area. And unfortunately, Sarah hasn't been here long enough to see what really this town has gone through. I have. And this last 2 years has been a disgrace to this community and this county, and it's time to stop that. Let us go on and build the building, for heaven's sake. What is wrong with the people that are opposing to this? And they are opposing it. It's high time that everybody grew up and just go forward. And I agree with what Betty said. Why aren't we, Paul, come to the table and sit down and help us and tell us what you think we should do. Don't sue us. What money is it costing us? It's costing us the money from the lawsuits. I have principles and values, and that's how I base my life. I think we need to go forward with the building as much as we possibly can and do what's right for this town and start growing this community. We can't even seem to get past this. It's absolutely absurd. So everybody needs to just grow up, and we need to realize where we need to go, and that is forward. Not backwards, forward. And with the thoughts and values that Paul Spencer has, Earl Spencer has, I honor timeless values. We can't get any better information than we can from the Spencers or from Skip. So anyway, I stand here with my board members in full agreement with them to go forward with this building if at all possible. And if anybody has any questions or any thoughts on anything that they'd like to do, I'd like to know about it. And let's go forward, stop this and go forward and start talking about our future. By the way, the Marriott hotels that are being built, they're building one that'll be done, it's 550 rooms for the new casino in Schenectady. They're up there, they're the ones that I'm trying to talk to come here. That's the first start in trying to make a plan for this area. And we're still waiting for the guy from Rochester to come down for the microbrewery to this area too. If I get any more information on that, I'd like to have some people help. But we've been kind of tied up with things here. All right, off and onward to a new beginning, and I hope everybody has a great future and a great tomorrow.
Any other comments? Okay. So we have a decision to add in to, I am still, okay, so we need, first of all, if we're doing a motion to bring Justice Steiger out, I think what we could do is do the motion tonight, and then at the next meeting, if there's any projected cost associated with it, before we spend it, we would need a resolution to approve any budget line for it. But for right now, in general, a motion to move him out. But I would also include it in that, taking out that cubicle. I talked to former Supervisor Heisert. That cube actually belongs to him, but he said he does not want it back. So we're fine to just pitch it. We don't, with the desks too.
How are we going to keep the computer and everything safe?
So we would have to come up with a way to lock up the computer, but before, I wouldn't just do it. I would figure it out.
Put it there.
Do we need to check with Ron Dygert before we make any changes to make sure?
Well, he's gonna have to be in the process.
I think the motion would be better worded if you said that the room will be made available to him, and that he, on his own timetable, can make the move from his existing chambers out here.
Well, this would just be the bench, right? Everything.
Right.
Yeah,
Well, okay, the bench, yeah,
And a setup.
right.
So,
Not telling him he has to be here, but rather just offering him the
Offering it.
space to use to have the courtroom. It would be, I think, a better way of saying it.
so it'd be looking into how to configure it.
Mhm.
You just want a motion and a second?
Mhm.
Now?
One thing I want to add, he still needs to have access to his computer and everything too. It's got to be out here, so there'll be some changes made for that.
Yeah.
oh, that's not a problem. The router's right here, and his is wireless anyway.
Could it be put on a cart with wheels and just kind of wheel it in and wheel it
It's a
out?
laptop.
Oh, it's a laptop.
It's a
Okay.
laptop.
So I'll make a motion that we move forward into configuring a bench for the justice and whatever else is required with that.
Including, not, including removing the supervisor's cube.
Well, that's separate from the justices.
Well, I don't think we'll have room to put in a bench unless we take that out and have chairs.
Maybe we ought to wait and see what we're gonna do about where we're gonna put you then, before, just do Judge Dygert now, and because we're gonna have to because he's gonna still need his office.
Right. Yeah, no, I know.
But I mean, what
I'm
are you
just
gonna
saying-
do with the files and stuff, Sarah? That's all I'm concerned about.
They just need to be in a locked cabinet.
Okay.
It's too, it's, that cube is like a time capsule from when Supervisor Heisert was here. There's nothing there that anybody would want from the last 15 years.
No, I just worry about
It's
the
like-
computer and the records.
Okay.
That's all. The desk's all locked and you're gonna have to keep the desk in, right?
Yeah, no, well, yeah, we can just.
That's all I'm,
Mhm.
I'm sure. Okay, I'll amend it to say including conforming the supervisor's cubicle in some, we should bookkeeper and supervisor's cubicle in some way.
Second,
I'll make a second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Well, that's wonderful. I think that's some really important progress toward the safety of the justice, and I'm really glad that we got that done. The second resolution that we have in front of us is the appraisal, which had previously been discussed as part of pending litigation and an executive session. Now, Attorney Subic has prepared a resolution in which we would allow authorize me to sign an agreement with Donato, with Frank Donato, real estate appraisal and consulting. I don't see an amount here.
Well, it's the attachment. Is there an attachment with the proposal?
Yeah, right here.
Oh, got it, okay, yep.
$4,500.
Again, before we do that, I would just suggest that it might be helpful to have an executive session just to make sure that you know what the final positions of everybody is before we take a step to go ahead and hire them to do that. But you do what you want.
No, there is more information available to us than
Well,
from the previous.
Yes.
Okay, well then
There is more information, actually, yes, there is.
I would make a motion that we go into executive session with Leanne and Mr. Subic to discuss.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? I'm opposed. Any abstentions?
I'm opposed to.
And no abstentions.
Yeah.
Okay.